Hey Ola, you'll have to excuse this. I'm feeling a little bit under the weather today. I actually just woke up from like a 2 hour nap, and that's why I got the hat on because I got the bad hair, and it's just, ugh. This is cold season, so I'm getting ready for the cold season. I'm surprised I got makeup on this morning. Like, I look alive, sort of. Not really, not so much. As you may know, we recently celebrated Halloween, October 31st, and today I wanted to talk about the differences between Halloween here and Halloween in Canada. In Canada, you've got Halloween on the 31st, and this includes things like costumes and trick-or-treating, and for the older ones, parties, and lots of trouble. Whereas here in Sweden, they don't do that so much. They only actually started celebrating Halloween about 50 years ago, and even then it wasn't a huge thing, and it has gradually started to grow and started to die again. So here it's more of a celebration for 3 days. You've got the 29th, which is more of a party day. This year it happened to fall on a Thursday, so that's more of the party day, a day for all the teenagers to go out and cause some trouble and all that stuff. And then on the Friday, the 30th, that's when most of the kids start to come out and do some trick-or-treating. This is one of the days where a lot of people, they go out and they spend time with friends and stuff like this. And then on 31st, which happened to fall on a Saturday this year, this is when the Swedes go out and celebrate the dead. Now, what I mean by this is not the Day of the Dead such as you have in Mexico. No, not quite like that. This is the day where everyone goes to the graveyards and lights a candle for all the graves and remembers the dead and the lives that they had lived. This is held usually on this last Saturday of October, which happened to fall on the 31st this year. So some people were in the graveyards doing this traditional celebration, whereas other people were still out trick-or-treating and enjoying Halloween like the little kids do. Now here, it's more of a little kid thing to get costumes and do a trick-or-treating about up to the age of 7. And then after that, you're not really involved in that whole thing. They don't have tons of haunted houses. They don't really celebrate it here. It's not a huge thing. But when I was talking to my host parents, they said that the reason why we don't really celebrate it is because we've always looked at that day as a day to remember the dead and not to look at how you party and how you can dress up all spooky. The Swedes have a week off. This is just a week for fall break. It happens the last week of October, and for them it's just a day to spend with family, and some time to just recuperate, because we start school so early in the year, in the middle of August instead of at the beginning of September, such as you do in Canada. So here they have this week off in October, and then you've got more school until December, and then again you start having your regular vacations off. So that was great. Well, during that week off, I got to go up to Stockholm. Now, for those of you who may not know, Stockholm is the capital of all of Scandinavia. I have personally never been to New York, so I can't really compare it, but I would have to say that this was like, New York. You go down the street, you've got street performers everywhere, you've got huge ads everywhere, billboards everywhere, all these name brand stores open and bright and playing music, and it's so welcoming, and all these huge buildings, and there's so much history from Stockholm, and it's just so different Because if you look at a place like Höganäs, where I live, there's about 18,000 people here. Whereas if you were to go to Stockholm, there's, I believe, 1 million, between 1 and 2 million people. So it's quite the difference. And I spent 4 days there, and I did a little bit of shopping, and I got to see the real life of Sweden. And this is where it was really like a fashion show. Everyone there had their own sense of style, and that was amazing. Because whereas here in Höganäs, everyone's kind of, it's all on the countryside, so everyone's just kind of whatever feels comfortable, and there's all one kind of style going. Whereas in Stockholm, you've got all different kinds. You've got some people wearing long trench coats. You have some people wearing heels that are like that big with neon colors, and you've got some people that are just normal. It's all over the place, and that was beautiful. That was so cool, and it was about a 6-hour drive to get up there, which is amazing. I had to really take into perspective the fact that in 6 hours I went from one side of their country to the other side, whereas in Canada it takes 12 hours just to drive from one province to the other. That's insane. So that was my past week. I spent the whole week with my mom in Stockholm, and I did some shopping, and I got to see a whole nother side of Sweden and see what that was like. I hope you all have an amazing week.